Here's an update on the beehive. This is a wild swarm that moved in to a swarm catcher. My husband, this is a robber bee, I believe, coming up on the side, right there. There's some robber bees going on. Or robber, I don't know how to say it. Bees trying to rob the hive. Okay, so we moved it into this beehive that my husband and I built. I'll show you, there's another robber bee. I'll show you real quick. So we purchased this swarm catcher sitting on top from horizontalhive.com, Dr. Leo. And then we got free plans on that same website and built this beehive. It's a horizontal beehive with deep frames. I transferred the bees from this swarm catcher, which I think is 6 frames. I transferred it into the beehive. I transferred the swarm in there. And I put a divider board halfway through. This was earlier in the summer. I put the divider board halfway through, so I think there are 19 frames total in the beehive. Ooh, that's my dog. Don't get stung. Get back. Okay, there are 19 frames in the big one. So I transferred them. Let me see how actually. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, okay, they were in there, 7. So I transferred them into this larger hive and gave them 2 additional frames. So they had 9 frames, and this was earlier in the summer. And I was hoping that they would build on those extra frames, but I opened it up yesterday and they hadn't built on the extra frames, so I actually took them back down to 6 frames since we're rolling into the winter. It is October, and I put the divider, closer, maybe like right here, so it's actually the space they have inside this larger beehive is about the same space they had in the swarm catcher, because they just haven't grown very much. Now, a while back, maybe like last month, I noticed what I thought was robbing going on. So I stuffed some leaves into the entrance to make it smaller so that this small hive could help defend themselves better, and I think that it is working pretty well. As soon as I put those leaves in there, maybe like it wasn't even 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes later, I had walked away and I turned back. I was working out in the yard and I turned back to look at them, and I saw them pulling a bumblebee or a boring bee. I guess it's a boring bee. They bore into the wood. They pulled it out and pulled it down to the ground right in front of the beehive. So I don't know if it was in there when I put the leaves, when I reduced the entrance, or it tried again in after I reduced the entrance. Regardless, I feel like that was a good decision to reduce the entrance. Here is another. See this bee trying to get in on the side there? That's a bee from another hive because it's not familiar with the entrance. That's how I know that it is a robber bee. Oh yeah, here's a bee fight going on. That was probably just that bee we saw at the side. Now I don't know which one is from this hive and which one is the... Oh, okay, so that one that's remained must be from the hive. So yeah, there's still some robbing going on. Like I said, I think I made the right decision to reduce the entrance. And I hope I made the right decision to take out some of those frames and give them a smaller home. That way they can keep warmer during the winter. I also noticed in September they pulled out a lot of larvae, hundreds of larvae. And I was reading, trying to figure out what was going on with the hive. Why would they be pulling out so much larvae? And I don't know the answer to that. I read that it might have been because of a cold snap. If the swarm, the brood, got too chilly, then they'll throw out the brood. We did have a cold snap in September, so maybe that's why. I'm not sure. But this is the update on the hive. I come out here and just watch them every day. This is my first hive, and I find it so fascinating. So I just come out here and watch them for a little bit. I see some more robber bees from other colonies trying to get in to take the honey and pollen, I suppose. They're still doing pretty good. When I opened it up to take out the frames yesterday, there were 4 frames that were very, very populated, and I didn't take out each frame to look at them, but as I was sliding the frames over, I could see there were 4 frames just full of bees, and then on the 5th and 6th frames, there were not many bees at all. These are extra deep frames, so I hope that's a good sign that there was a high density of population on 4 or 5 frames, and I hope they're able to make it through the winter. I don't know, if you have any tips, advice, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.